So there, and you can see them.
Good morning, everyone.
Peace and blessings, family. Good morning.
Welcome, welcome. Glad you're coming in. Excited to be here. Remember to mute yourself.
Peace and blessings, Reverend Niamo.
Abimbola, my sister.
How are you? Good seeing you.
Praises be to God. Nice to see you. Very good. Very happy to see you, my sister. I hope I'm heard all right. I hope everyone can hear me. Greetings, greetings, greetings.
Make sure your volume is fully up, Niamo, because it's sounding a little low to me.
Okay. It looks like it's up here. I don't know where else. I just have to speak louder, probably.
Okay.
I'm going to plug in so we don't lose power. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to day 190 of the Wake Up Everybody virtual community. Great rising for sure. Greetings, Amal. Glad to see you. All right. This is going to be about how the International Black Summit and its conversation of possibility can change your life and energy as it did mine. So we're going to travel through that space and see what it is that comes forward. I've been in this conversation for just about, I think it'll be 19 years. So that day 190 is meaningful for me.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Amal.
Great rising. Come on in, come on in, come on in. All right.
Good morning, Wake Up Club, Grand Rising.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Great day. Excited to hear lessons. Peace and blessings, everyone. I'm driving, but I can't hear the music.
Sahu Speed, 1 sec, please. Niamo, can you unmute?
Greetings, everybody. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. It's kind of bright, but glad to be here at the 190th. What am I saying? The 190th session of the Wake Up Everybody virtual community. That number is really, really good for me. The 19th, huh? Yes, yes. So this is about how I've been influenced by a bunch of Black folk. That's what it's about. And so what I'm going to do is share with you the declaration of the International Black Summit. Okay. This is an organization that's been around for 30 years. For 30 years. This was its 30th year, actually. And so I want to just put you in the mood of what it is I've come across in my life, how this conversation has transformed my life. And I'll first tell you that I heard about this International Black Summit several years going. They are international. It's a group that travels internationally. Anyone can participate, right? And so I had heard about it going to Jamaica, and I said, oh, I missed that. And then I heard about it going to Philly, and then I heard about it going to Tennessee, to Memphis. And, you know, it was after the Jamaica, I actually said that backwards because that's how my mind works. I've learned that in the summit, that I actually arrive at the end and have to retract to the beginning. So when I heard they went to Jamaica, I said, oh my gosh, I have to go to the next one. And it was in Toronto. Okay. And so I learned there who I was in the world in a way that I had not been present to before. And I learned distinctions of life, characteristics of myself inside of those distinctions that further helped me understand myself as an energy worker. Because initially I had been an editor and a freelance writer, consultant type person. And I retired from being a fundraiser, writing for money. Okay. So let's do the declaration of the International Black Summit. We're going to do that. We're going to get some input from you as to what it is you see about that summit, about that declaration for yourself, okay? And I will share with you my journey along the way, how it has affected me, all right? So if we can put the slide up of the declaration of the International Black Summit, and we can begin right there. Okay, so it'll come up at some point. And I'll just start.
Yeah. Excellent. John, just give us a heads up about what's happening, please, so that we'll know. And you can press forward. I love that you pivoted.
Yes, yes, yes. Because, you know, I do have it here. Oh, and greetings, our friends on Facebook. If I didn't say good morning to you, I say good morning to you now. And, oh, okay, you have it. Fine, perfect. So I have a brochure that I could have shown, and you'll get to know what it is, right? So, Declaration of the International Black Summit. We declare ourselves, our community, and all communities whole and complete. There's nothing to do except be. We assert that we are responsible for generating community as possibility and distinction. We listen for and grant being to the possibility and creation of unpredictable results. Our conversation of, about, and for those of African descent is one of power, self-generation, abundance, responsibility, unity, and integrity with the possibility of being. We stand for the expression of our spirituality, ending the murders of our men, women, and children, building economies responsible for funding our community, maintaining wellness of being in our bodies, providing human services, establishing nurturing relationships, altering the conversation of who we are in the media, empowering our youth. We declare that our community manifests itself in the world as a contribution in the transformation of the universe. Atlanta, Georgia, October 7th, 1991. Wherever Black people are on the earth, in the north, in the south, the east, the west, above, below, and within. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I understand that the declaration will be added to the chat and you can see it there. Or if you like, we can just discuss it. Not or, it's an and. We can look at this declaration and see where we are in our lives as regards this declaration. In this very moment, I'll do a little history later, but in this very moment, let's say this month, this year, I'm in this conversation of, about, and for those of African descent being one of power, which is why energy healing superpowers is so important to me and why I created a quiz around that, right? The very first summit I attended in 2002 had a different declaration for that year. That declaration carried me for the next 3 years. And I'll share that with you just to open. I don't want you to rest there, but I'll share it with you because it might give you access to looking at this declaration and we can have some interaction around this declaration, right? So that first time that turned me totally on to this organization and this conversation of possibility. That first declaration was for that year, what is available in noticing all that I create that keeps me unconscious to the wonder that I am. That was 2002. And I walked around in a like, what is available in noticing all that I create, this life that I create, my life that keeps me unconscious. You know, what behaviors, what attitudes, what pieces am I putting in front of myself and then saying it's out there, but it's not. I don't want to throw too many things out there to you. But one of the main distinctions of this conversation is no out there. There is no out there out there. Okay? Now, the way, let me just give you the history of how this came about. The Declaration of the International Black Summit came about because two women were in a workshop with Landmark Forum, and it was a 6-week workshop. I have the history here, and I won't read it, but I want you to know that they knew that this conversation that they were in this session had potential to just blow up the African descendant community. What could they do, they said? What could we do to have this be heard in our community? And they started doing phone calls on trunk lines as they were at that time. In 1991, we're talking about. And everyone would get in these calls, monthly calls. And after about a year, they decided to meet in Atlanta. And it was all about this conversation of possibility and creativity and living lives so that we generate the life we want to live in this country. So it was taken, these were graduates of, not graduates, these were people who had come through Landmark and were, students of that conversation and leaders in their communities. And they may have even been leaders, they were leaders of that Landmark conversation as well, right? And Aloma Marquis and Pat, what's her last name? Oh gosh, I don't have it in front of me.
Reed Porter.
Pat Reed Porter, thank you very much. Detroit in the house, Michigan. Thank you so much, Amal. Were they spearheaded this movement, Okay. And so they had 5 facilitators at that first meeting in Atlanta. And then a coterie, a smaller group of people stayed up all night saying, what is it that we declare about this community? What is it that what is our statement to the world about this community? What can we take all around the world to express what the diaspora and what Africans in Africa, everywhere on the earth, what the world is gaining from us being on this earth? What is that thing? And they came up with this statement. See? So this is not just one person who decided something. This was several people who decided, listen, we declare ourselves whole and complete. And when we say there's nothing to do except be, I'm really in that. And that confounds a lot of people. That does confound a lot of folks. But when we say that, we got to realize how heavy it is. That's what I teach in my Reiki and energy healing courses, that we are machinery, organic machinery of excellence that's always operating. And we are just being that. But the recognition of it and the declaration of it is often absent. And we must, in our speaking, begin to actually have it be that we understand and appreciate that our conversation is one of power, self-generation, okay? Abundance, responsibility, unity, integrity, etc. With that possibility of being, okay? So I was hooked, and I only missed one summit in the past, from 2002 to now, so it's 18, 19 years. I only missed one summit. So that's the declaration. Now,
Rev Niamo,
yes.
before we move forward, can we bring some of the community in and we can discuss this declaration? There's a lot here to go through, to unpack, as we like to say here.
Yes.
And we'd like to bring some of the community in to discuss this.
Let's do that. So
okay.
You want me to open the chat, or let's see? Yeah.
Amal, sorry. Will you be open to come in and discuss what we have here, discuss the declaration?
Absolutely. I'm supporting Niamo 100% because I'm part of the IBS myself.
Awesome. I would like for Rev Niamo, you can lead that discussion if you don't mind.
So are there any other comments? Are there any other comments about the declaration? I'd like to hear, Teresa Scott has raised her hand. Yes, you can unmute and we can hear you.
I just wanted, what it said to me is that we have everything that we need. There's nothing lacking in us. And my thing is that I would like to know how to get to that place where I'm actually, I believe that I have some things, but I would like to be able to walk in that, completely, where I know without a doubt, that that's what I represent, to my people, and, and transfer it, and, and make change in the world, in my community.
Yes. Well, one of the ways that we've hit upon over the years is the I declaration. If you notice, this is all about we, and this is a wonderful statement of the possibility of us, the Ubuntu aspect, right? And so we've actually had several people come up with I versions. And it's almost like a prayer when you use the I version. I declare myself whole and complete. There's nothing to do except be. I assert that I'm responsible for generating myself as possibility and distinction. Okay. I listen for and grant being to the possibility and creation of unpredictable results for myself. My conversation of, about, and for myself is one of power, self-generation, abundance, responsibility, unity, and integrity with the possibility of being. I stand for the expression of my spirituality, ending the murders of the man, woman, and child aspect of myself, building an economy responsible for maintaining my community. That building there should be maintaining my community, myself. Building an economy responsible for maintaining myself, maintaining wellness of being in my body, providing myself with human service, establishing a nurturing relationship with myself, altering the conversation of who I am in the media, and empowering my youthfulness is how I do the last part. And then I declare that I manifest myself in the world as a contribution in the transformation of myself or the universe. Because what I have found is that once you really get this in your bones, yourself and the universe are the same thing. Are there any other questions? I want to share with you the purpose of the International Black Summit as the next piece.
Yeah, let's hear from a couple of others because this is a big energy to take in. And some of us resist this level of power that it exists in us and it also exists in community. And when we were preparing for the session, we were talking about this whole co-creation. And so this is totally aligned with the foundation that you've set before you even entered into the space. And of course, the foundation that the International Black Summit has set in the universe and the ripple effect that it has. So I know that there were shares in the chat from different people having reactions. I would love to, I think Stacy's in this space. If you could unmute yourself and share what comes up and out for you and how it actually aligns with how you show up in the world, Stacy, and what you offer. And let me see who else is here. I don't know the name, but the device is LG Stylo 4. We would love to know who you are. I know you've been in the space before, so we know that you're a powerful contributor. But if you could tell us your name and then also share. So somebody with a device, LG Stylo 4. One of your comments was that this is so timely. So yes, we're talking to you. So Stacy, you ready? Oh, Stacy, bounce.
Hi,
There you go.
I'm logging in from my phone so I can make sure that you heard me.
Go ahead, love.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Just have to cut off one of the devices.
So she just cut herself off. She just muted herself.
All right, let me unmute her.
Okay, here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good morning, Grand Rising, beautiful. It was a beautiful thing to just wake up to this conversation. I was quiet because I just was like letting it marinate and just like soaking all of that power. I was like, oh yeah, blackness. Like I saw like black fists all around me, just like popping up from out of everywhere. Just like it was really great. And I'm a graduate of landmark and an introduction leader. And what I started to think about was when we had introductions for people of color. So I started to think, wondering if that was birthed from this. That was one of my questions. I'm trying to think of the exact title that it's called, like the Landmark Forum for People of African Descent. Yes, for people of African descent. Was this birthed from this when you were there?
No.
Okay.
You may not have been here in the beginning. No. This in 1991, African Americans were in the landmark setting, and Aloma recalls. Aloma's one of the founders. She recalls mentioning the African. She recalls someone else mentioning the African American experience. I don't think it was her, and that the forum leader just really went right over what that person offered in the space. And she was like, what? That wasn't what? That we got to do something else. That wasn't appropriate. Right. So yeah, that's where it was generated from. And so there's been an interesting relationship between the two organizations. There was very much some support in the beginning. The leader of the forum assisted the summit in some pieces of structuring itself, but after a certain point, it was clear that we had to create our own distinctions. We could not use landmark distinctions inside of the International Black Summit. We had to create our own prerequisites for people to be in this conversation. You know, the essentials. What is it? What do you need to really grasp before you come into this conversation? And since then, there has been a shift from landmark being the prerequisite, you know, in the very beginning, to the summit itself creating its own prerequisite system, right? Which is under discussion right now. And so I see Amal has a raised hand now also.
Yeah, I have a so I've just in response to that, because the conversation that we're having now, especially with what all that's going on in the country, Black Lives Matter, beyond Black Lives Matter,
Right.
and how there's a huge conversation around Black introduction leaders there and in the space. And when I saw this, I was like, this would be beautiful for me to bring right now, like to bring so I would just want to know what part to do, my part, what I can do regarding the Declaration of International Black Summit, how I can be involved in bringing that conversation back to make it to live and to live.
Got it. So Stacy, I want to apologize because the way the screen is, it went off, and so I thought you were complete. So I apologize for cutting in about Amal raising her hand. I do want to say that there is a Facebook page that has to do with Landmark, people of African descent from Landmark, and a lot of people from the summit are part of that page. Are you, maybe you're not aware of that particular page on Facebook, but there is people who have been part of both are on that page. And so there is right now a dynamic with the two. And the summit was actually introduced at the last Wisdom Conference, the International Wisdom Conference.
Okay.
By Dr. Lorraine Warren. Dr. Rain Warren introduced the International Black Summit there. And so there's still a relationship that we have with Landmark. So definitely, you know, that's,
okay.
Facebook is one way to get a handle on how you can participate. We also have Sunday Summit Share Sundays at 7 on Zoom, so people can get introduced to the International Black Summit every Sunday at 7 online.
Okay, good. That was going to be my next question. How can I get introduced to that? And with it, is there like membership? I have no idea. So I'm sorry if I sound like silly, but it's still like,
no, it's not membership. The purpose of the International Black Summit is to provide an opportunity for participants to bring into being their vision for the world. So
got it.
One of the main activities is an annual summit event that's held the first weekend in every August. This past ASE was held virtually. It was our first mega only virtual retreat. Summit. And so that was the first time, but we've been doing Zoom and providing virtual access for years and years. Like we were in front of this 8 ball that a lot of companies and corporations are just getting used to. We were ahead of that because we were offering it to be worldwide, to be international. You know, we had to. And so, yes, as to become a member, yes, you participate. You know, certainly it's a nonprofit organization. You can donate or contribute. We prefer to say to building your organization, your conversation, your participation in the conversation. The Sunday night Summit Share Sundays at 7 are free activities, and there will be more. And this conversation is also available for other spaces, such as groups that want to have a new vision for their organization. You know, groups and agencies, and so that's being developed as well, so that this declaration and the conversation and the distinctions can penetrate into the community. There's 1.8 billion people of African descent around the world. Okay, almost 7 billion people in the world, and so almost 2 billion of those are Black people. it is said. It may be much more. But anyway, we certainly, the summit wants everyone to hear this conversation, and even people from Europe and other places, China, what have you, if they hear their descendancy from Africa, they can participate in the conversation. In the rooms, however, it's an African descendant conversation, and people have to
Got
be
it. Thank you.
fully grounded in that.
And my last question, and that, am I able to, and I'm able to share this declaration? Is this open to share?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay. Got it. And I just want to thank you because what I got from it is also who I, like when Shawnee was asking, like who I am in the world and for people, is that I am, you know, I'm the only one coming. Not that that there's no help, but we are the ones. So just having that conversation and me being an energy worker and a yoga instructor, it is just very empowering from the space that I come from, as like the context of being powerful, being that we can have whatever it is that we desire and still living those distinctions from, you know, being a graduate and an introduction leader, but still having it for me, like you said, as I statements, but bringing all of my Blackness and all of my power and goddess power to that conversation and sharing that with like mine. So I'm just excited to share that this morning. I screenshot it. We're here through my phone. I'm ready to just go to all of my like women goddesses and just be like, oh my God, look what the juice is for the day. And let's like share this and get something started. So it activated something in me to start something today. So I thank you for being here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And just remember, it's very simple. blacksummit.org is the website. So it's very simple to get to. And you're welcome.
Can I say something now?
Yes, please.
Okay, so first of all, I did the Black Summit in 1994. Pat Reed Porter, one of the persons that brought it to the community, we were in a group together, and we were organizing Highland Park. No, we had already organized Highland Park, because I think Highland Park was one of the sites that they did do a summit.
That's right.
Yeah, her husband, who was the mayor of Highland Park, was one, you know, we were all working together. I was in ILP, et cetera, et cetera. So when I heard that this had gotten started, it was like, oh my God, I got to do that. It was going to be in New York. And in my mind, I said, how am I going to get to New York? The conversation about we have everything we need. All I did was, and this is for you, Teresa, all I did was put it out there in the atmosphere. I'm going to New York. It wasn't, you know, please, Lord, no, I'm going to New York. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know how it's going to be arranged, but I'm going. And lo and behold, I got an opportunity to do that. And that was my first introduction to the International Black Summit. We have to know, and in fact, throughout my life, when I was up against the wall, couldn't see which way to go, didn't know what was going to come, all I did was just let it go, and Spirit stepped in and provided everything I needed for what I felt my issue was. So that's where there's a certain belief that you have to have in yourself and in our God, that you're going to get through. And I think if you look back in your life, you've always managed to get through. Things have always come out on the other side, and it was okay. So you just have to step into the knowing that that's what it is. So that's where it comes from, Teresa. And whoever else might have that conversation. But I've been with Landmark since the 90s, and the International Summit, I hadn't been functioning with them all the way through. I came back to them, I think last year. I came back last year. No, the beginning of this year. And I see more and more the value. I didn't even know was still existing, but the declaration always stuck with me, and it's something that has survived 30 years. It has survived. Nothing lasts for 30 years unless there's a strong foundation and people willing to step forward to do that. And they have a method of making alignments, and they have a method that they hold true and they stick to, and it has allowed us to survive in that conversation. So Sunday at 7 p.m. Every Sunday, there's the what do they call it? Niamo, because my mind is Summit Share. Summit Share
Called Summit Share Sundays at 7.
at 7 p.m. Someone asked me whether it was AM, PM, and yeah, and open no, they usually have a conversation, a conversation to align. You said it was a declaration, but actually they called it something else. Where each week they have a conversation like, where are you based on whatever you feel about the world? How do you see yourself placed in it, or some kind of thought-provoking question?
Yes, yes, it's an inquiry, and I can go over those once we finish this conversation. We can really briefly look at the annual Black Summit, annual International Black Summit questions and declarations. There's a list of them for every year, and what you've been experiencing in recent weeks is some of the previous questions and declarations of that only lasted a year being brought forward again. What does it mean to be Black? Things like that. So we can go forward. We can actually look at those more closely. I want to also answer. Are you complete, Amal?
Yes, ma'am. I'm complete.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much for your comments. I want to also share that there are youth and young adult summits. When we have the numbers and the youth just want to be in the conversation, or they don't, and their parents forcing them, or they brought them to whatever country or city we're in, and they have their own session, right? And the youth generated their own purpose. And I want to share those with you right now. And if we could switch the slide, it doesn't, maybe you need to see it, maybe you don't, but I'll share with you what the Youth Summit purpose is. I mean, literally, they stood up and said, listen, we exist to facilitate the connection, self-expression, and empowerment of young people of African descent around the world. We are young people making our visions real in our communities and exemplifying the principles of youth, transformation, love, and possibility as a powerful approach to the universe. That's what they said, right? Then, years later, young adults said, listen, we need our own space.
Exactly.
We need our own space. And so the young adults generated their own purpose, which is to provide an opportunity for participants ages 18 to 35, a space for reflection, communication, mentorship, and growth through vision creation and implementation. This conversation empowers young adults to powerfully transition to adulthood equipped for global success. Okay, so those were the purposes that were generated by the young participants. And I have my own personal story about this now. In Highland Park, in fact, we attended, my family and I attended the summit, and actually it was my grandson, my bonus grandson, who lived in Detroit. Okay, let me just start from the beginning. What had happened was my husband at the time and all of us were grieving that his oldest daughter took her own life. She was 25. And it was maybe some years after that, but still the grief was there. And we decided to take our grandson, her son, to the summit. And he was a rather mousy kid because his mother had left. And he participated with the youth in their summit. At the end of the summit, the youth have an opportunity to step forward and present themselves to the body at large. In walked this boy, like this, with his, with his with his chest stuck out, and we were like, "Who the heck is that?" And he was totally transformed by this conversation. He declared himself to be the first Black president of the United States. This was years and years and years ago. He created the space for Obama to arise, for in our looking, in our seeing him. That's how it is. Now he's a videographer and is part of a business where in Detroit where he's totally self-generating, totally powerful, totally positive. And it's just wonderful to see how he came out of the space of just total rejection, self-rejection, his environmental rejection, the social aspect of his mother leaving, deciding to go, facilitated by Prozac and similar drugs, and other things happening in our community that precipitated it. He just processed it all and cleansed it, cleared it, such that he could see himself or see a Black president of the United States of America. And so just a powerful result. That's my testimony about the powerful results possible with the International Black Summit. Okay.
Can I also add that it is so important that our youth see us as Black people actually generating this conversation, this kind of energy, because everything else for them out in the world that's unique or not unique, but that teaches them is white for the most part, or their white structure. But to come in and see Black men and Black women, delivering, doing the things that we're doing in the Black Summit is powerful for our young Black youth.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'll share right now. Is someone else? Okay, I thought somebody had a question or raised their hand. If there is, you'll let me know, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, fine. I just wanted to share the books that came out of my hiding. I had heard. Well, I finally printed this book. This is called The Spiritual Warrior's Guide to a Proven Islam. What does that mean? That means that I had been given the Quran by someone long, long, long ago. Then I was given a mate and had a child. When my first child came out, I was just struck with some kind of, you got to write a book. Look, your body can create. You're a writer. You're supposed to create your own book about how great God is. And so that's really what this is. This is about how it distinguishes between cultural Islam and spiritual Islam, and talks about the number 19 being the crux of, and other prime numbers that has been found, being the crux of the proof that God exists. And so it's also been said that that's evident in the books of Moses. And so the Abrahamic trajectory and my role in it actually got a boost for myself. So I had to write this book about this religion for God. For me, religion is for God. It's not for other people. I don't care what they think. It's for me and God, right? And so that's what this book was. And it took a lot for me to actually be bold enough to do this. And when other people saw it who were very much immersed in other people telling them how to live and dress and be, I was told to be careful. And guess what? It came out right after the Twin Towers fell. So the timing was like, timing was weird. But God is in control. The Creator is in control. So that was the first book I wrote. And I dedicated it to my daughter because I couldn't believe that I actually had a child and was able to have a child. And that all went well. And then I said, well, God is great. I better write about God. Having been an editor and a writer, I said, I better write about God. And so the next book that I wrote with Shakira Abdul Ali was about using essential oils. And this got to the crux of the matter, removing post-traumatic slave syndrome using essential oils. And so we're creating an ebook of this right now, but I can actually send this to you if you want. All these are available on my website. which is the HealMobile.com. You'll get that information later. And you may have known that if you were here a couple weeks ago, whatever. This is my current book. Let me get it out. The Light on Reiki and Neo-African Mysticism. I don't want us to not talk about our role in the world. You know, what concerns me and what I'm present to is that this declaration has me understanding how immersed we are in certain types of thought that are not of our own making because of the diaspora and how it is we got around the world, right? And so we're healing that in our languaging, and that's why I like to always reference what it is, our intersection with what it is we're getting. I think the sister said she was a Reiki, a yoga teacher. And so what is our intersection with yoga? This book describes our intersection with Reiki, okay? With the energy healing piece, the hands-on healing piece, right? Okay. So anybody else have any more comments about, we don't have, we have like maybe almost 10, 12 minutes in terms of 8 o'clock. When the Facebook people might have to go, or some people may have to leave around 8. So I want to make sure that you all get the information you need about the summit. Now, can you give the title of the books? Surely. The title of the books are Light on Reiki and Neo-African Mysticism. Maybe that can be written in.
Yeah, we'll take care of it, Niamo.
Huh?
We'll take care of it, the titles and posting that, so you don't have to worry about that. Just, I know you had slides and
Yes,
that.
I want to go back to them if we can.
Okay, yes, for sure. So, John, if you could post the slides so we can forward the conversation, that would be great. Also want to point out, it's my joke around it, but there's quite a few landmarkians in the space, or land Martians, and I don't want to isolate or alienate anybody who is not part of that community. There's a specific language that is used in the community, and if you're not familiar with it, it can sound like a foreign language.
That's right.
Yeah, so just pointing out that if you want more information about that community that led to the manifestation of this community, also what I'm led to do and talk about is the fact that we as a people, if you identify as BIPOC or Black, Indigenous, person of color, that we have our own language and way of speaking. I always speak about the fact that when I did go in 2009 and engage in the forum, which is the flagship program for Landmark, that I came with my own spiritual foundation and my connection with my people. And what Landmark did was reinforce the action, or to actually create or ignite action, and help me break down some of the stories that I was carrying that were getting in the way. Part of some of those, well, this is a blend, Niamo.
Yes.
Racism is real. It's not a story. How I relate to it can be story-ish. But just the importance of being able to say that foundations were already set for the manifestos of the International Black Summit. And I would imagine the tools and ingredients of Landmark just took it to the next level and opened up something that was already brewing in the airspace and in the universe. So I just wanted to say that that was just important for me to say that things existed already, and we just add these tools to support us in opening it up and moving it along. So here you go with the next slide.
Yes. What is available through the International Black Summit? That's what I wanted to share this time. Because in other words, what are you going there and what happens? People think it's a conference. People have gone and said like, well, where's the where do I sign up for the donation of food, clothing, and shelter, or fixing up homes? Well, the summit is an event that takes place the first weekend, every first weekend of August of each year, as I said before. And the people who attend are committed to the unfoldment of the declaration in their lives, right? So that means that a bunch of folk keep coming back to the summit because it helps you unfold stuff, right? It's also a gathering of people of Black African descent from diverse backgrounds, countries, lifestyles, opinions, and views. And they come together to celebrate and empower the vision of the declaration, right? Now, the summit is also an exploration of questions and issues which empower participants to realize their vision for the Black community and the world, right? Now, it's a place to clear yourself and to be able to hear what life is telling you. And this is a very, very important part of being at the summit. People come often, and let me rephrase that. Often we go into these settings, these group settings, such as Niamo, such as the summit, and we're quiet and don't share, or we're quiet and don't declare. Sometimes it's not about sharing what happened to you. Sometimes it's about declaring who you are. And we're not often given this opportunity. So it's extremely important that you have a place to clear yourself, so you'll be able to hear what life is giving you. Okay, because how else can you have access to your vision for your life, right? It's also an acknowledgement, praise, and celebration of who we are as a people and the contribution we are to the world. This is what the summit is. It's a space of acknowledgement, praise, and celebration. And I'd like to just share the theme song that we have that you may know of. If you know of Ricky Byers Beckwith and her Release and Let Go song, that's often sung at the summit. And it begins like this. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all myself. And I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. And I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. In my faith, I can see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. And you know them beautiful voices. I just like to sing. I just like to sing the background and participate. I was an alto in the choir. So, oh my word. But it's beautiful when all those, oh my goodness. Can you imagine us? You know how we are. When we sing a song we like, altos in the house. That's right, Shawnee. So finally, the summit is a global shift in the conversation about who Black people of African descent are in the world. Why? Because we released and let go of all that crap that doesn't matter. This is very important. Now, one of my favorite distinctions, I mentioned one distinction before of the summit, and that distinction was no out there. My favorite distinction that I became present to at my first summit was no right way to be. There's no right way to be. And I struggled with that because I wrote this book about Islam and that, hey, are you kidding me? There's a right way to be. About the Abrahamic tradition of what we call the peace, Islam. There's a right way to be. What you talking about? And I came to understand that each person has to, you know, find their voice and find their spirit, you know, and so and listen themselves in life. And so yes, it's a global shift in that conversation, and you know, there is no right way to be yourself, because this year's conversation is, I'll just show you now. We don't have to put it up, but it's in the moment of listening Noticing and allowing space, I become present to my authentic self. What is revealed from myself, the Black community, and the world? Now, you may want to write that down and all of that. It's okay. But what I want to say is that the right way to be is not out there, it's inside of you. You know, as you listen, notice, and allow space, you become present to your authentic self. I do that for me. I become present to who I am authentically, right? And that means that something's going to be revealed for myself and my Black community and the world itself. That's right. There's no right way to be. That's me. No one else can tell you who you are. Okay. Your rightness is from your alignment, which is another distinction of the summit. Your right being is with alignment, is alignment with the creator of heavens and earth. That's what I would say. You may say it a different way. This space is not a religious space in the sense of espousing a specific tradition. No, no. Everyone can stand for their spirituality, as the Declaration said. And I got empowered to stand for my spirituality in completing this book that I had been working on for years. And there are three other books that are related to that book that are also on Amazon, related to the contact prayer, right? Or the Salat. So that's really what this page shows. Now, I'd love to just review. We have 3 minutes, and just briefly, 3 minutes before people may check out and leave and stuff. So let's explore on the next slide the different places we've been. Okay, can we do that? Great. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Okay, great. Now, don't know if this can be blown up at all. However, we began in Atlanta, Georgia, and the question there was, who am I in relationship to the Black community? What is it to be Black? That was 1991. That's where they came up with the Declaration itself. 1992, Highland Park. What must I transform within myself in order to transform the world? These are, they're tongue-tied. The declarations, the inquiries are always huge questions, right? So I hope you're hearing that. In Oakland, California, 1993, who or what must I be in order to transform the Black community and the world? Okay. I don't see it being very bigger. I got a note there. Okay, so 1994, we were in New Orleans. What is my relationship to grace in regards to acknowledgement, abundance, wealth, and well-being? Now, what I would love to do is jump ahead a little bit, because I want to share what happened in Ghana. And it's going to be, let's see if I can even find that. It was Cape Coast, Ghana, I believe, but I can't read it here. Let's look on this other one that I have in front of me and see if I can see it. Okay, all right. What's important is, where's Cape Coast? Elmina Beach. I am complete on who I know myself to be. I declare I am enough. Now, you had to be in that room. This African brother, Ghanaian brother, was standing in front of the room talking about, well, I can't reach my vision because, no, what he said was, I want to be like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Nelson Mandela. That's who I want to be. And so the facilitators were like, so be that. What's the problem with that? I don't have any money. Well, you can have money. Money will come. That's what else is stopping you? I don't have a wife. I don't have a job. He had all these things that he did not have and was not. And the facilitators got him to the point of him declaring, I am enough. The interaction, he got to that point, and it was just so powerful. So in the room is where these statements and these inquiries and declarations are generated for the year. It's from the room, it's from the sharing, it's from what's going on in the space. So I wanted to share that with you. Okay. We lost the slide. I don't know. We could have gone some more into that, into the different places we've been. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, John, at the top where you see that magnifying glass, it can make it bigger so that we can see it. That's why we took it down, because we wanted to make sure the community could see what you were sharing. But the beautiful part about your excitement and your passion about it is that whether we see it or not,
Mhm.
hear your voice and your testimonials about the experience. So, John, you could take it to the present mode. Yeah.
Well, this is good. This is good. At least we can read it.
Yeah.
What is available, and by consciously owning all that I create, you know. Um,
I tried to magnify it, but it only works within the app, not when I present it.
ah.
Okay.
Then we had in Highland Park the second time, 2006 Highland Park. We had "I Am My Vision Fulfilled," and one of the OG facilitators was like, "What? I'm my vision fulfilled." And so for that whole year, we were like, "Whoa, I'm my vision fulfilled." So everybody, can you imagine working within the system of your life, knowing that your vision is fulfilled? It's like this is a mantra. This is a statement that can guide you in making your decisions.
Um,
And
can we hold there?
yes,
Because this can be operationalized or manifested in this very space.
yes,
I know I'm lit up by that piece that you just shared, or that theme for the year. What year was it, sis?
that happened to be 2006, and I did want to do vision work, so I'm happy. You're right on point.
Okay, so if you're doing it anyway, I don't want to jump ahead. If you plan to do that.
Well, plan. Tell me where you were going.
So
Uh,
I was going to ask the community, for those who are unapologetically operating from their vision, like what does it look like to have your vision be fulfilled? And I can start. For those in the space who know me and are part of the leadership or the fellowship of Be the Tree Rites of Passage Collective, we're in this week right now where the women are preparing to declare their purpose on the planet and then to present around that. So, my purpose is to utilize the word in all forms to ignite mind, body, and spirit transformation across the planet. And so, my vision is fulfilled. One way is by Wake Up Everybody. Over the course of these 190 days, people from Africa, India, the Caribbean, folks in Canada, people across the United States have participated and traveled through this space. So the part of my vision or purpose, which is to have a planetary impact, has been fulfilled in this wake up space. And by having folks from different parts of the planet and different conversations, different socioeconomic backgrounds, folks who identify as white, folks who are BIPOC, come in and heal and transform and awaken together. So for those on the line who have been operating from your purpose and vision, what does it look like to have your vision fulfilled? Like for me, it's healing and transformation of our stories about how small we are. Whether we say it out loud, sometimes we operate that way. So to ignite mind, body, and spirit transformation through the word is Niamo sitting in this space speaking about the Black Summit. Her word made manifest, and then you being inspired by that is the activation of what I declare my purpose to be. She's just the conduit by which it is happening. So others in the space who know that you are operating from your vision and how it's fulfilled in this real time and space right now, and then also what it looks like for the future. So that's where I was going. I don't know if you were going to do something similar, Niamo.
yes, I want to hear people's visions. I wanted to share how mine changed. My
I,
vision earlier on was um, joy in the homes, people dancing in the street. For some reason, it just comes to me that it has to be that we're able to go out and just be ourselves. It's a block party, and in Brazil we were able to actually travel through the town where we were and then arrive at this space where we held the summit. It was powerful, the drumming and people dancing in the street. And so for me, it's like not having a pall of like, oh, we got to be gone by 5 o'clock, or did you get the permit? That kind of energy. Not having that, and then also having joy in the homes because I was going through a divorce at the time, And so that trajectory, that changed, and it emerged that it was joy in the hearts that I was really seeking.
Yeah, yes,
So
yeah.
now it's joy in the hearts and the homes and people dancing in the streets with a level of freedom that it's not really possible in this country, especially not today. So definitely please share your visions with us, either in the chat or if you want to share
Yeah,
what
that's
you've been
beautiful.
bumping up against. I do want to share that someone mentioned that they struggled with the statement "right way to be," and Felicia said she used to struggle with it, but she's done a lot of inner work and now celebrates her uniqueness. And congratulations! It's a wonderful thing to realize that you are your right way to be. And yes, yes, yes.
And that's part of the, your operating from your vision and your purpose, and having her get present to the fact that she's transformed that comes by way of you honoring your vision and purpose, Niamo. um Sometimes we need to verification that we are moving in the direction of our transformation, so you just provided that through your session. I would love to call on Veronica. If you could unmute, Veronica Curtin. And I know how I feel about your vision, and well, not your vision. I know how I feel about the work you produce in the world as a healer. But I would love to hear how you believe your vision is being fulfilled day to day.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I just pulled down my Be the Tree vision purpose mapping, which happens to be up on a wall. And I'm really so excited listening to Nancy Niamo, because I feel that I am realizing it. It has taken quite a few years, but one of the things that was on my vision purpose mapping was to travel at will.
Mm.
And since I did Be the Tree, I've been to Ethiopia, Ghana, all over South America, traveling at will.
Love it.
And it's absolutely purposeful. It's the doing a vision purpose mapping. This is really exciting. This summit, I wish I had been part of it for the last 20 years, because this is what I've always dreamt of doing. And so I am just so excited. Thank you for waking me up and getting involved. It's just beautiful. And Be the Tree, my vision purpose mapping is on my wall, and I have achieved quite a lot of it. Actually, I'm beginning to sell my quilts. And on my map, it said that I would be able to sell my craft for $200 per hour. And I'm realizing it. I am actually realizing it. And it's through this COVID time that it has come into fruition, because I have a closet full of quilts, but I have made the $200 an hour making masks.
Mm.
So it is really exciting. And I am so excited just listening to you today, Niamo. And I have a picture of you from 25 years ago in my house.
Wow.
Packing cake for Michelle's wedding. And so always being around and being supportive is also one of the things that's on my map. Cooking, teaching, encouraging, supporting, decorating. And if I wasn't supporting back then, I wouldn't have been in your space at your time and seeing your greatness.
Whoa.
And I appreciate you, Nancy Niamo, because I knew you as Nancy.
Yes.
But I see you as Niamo.
Oh.
And I am so grateful. I'm grateful to you, Shawnee, for waking me up to my greatness and my purpose.
We have
Thank you, Shawnee. I love you.
Love you too, baby.
Thank you for adding at will to travel, because that's that piece I needed.
Thank you. Thank you. I am complete. Okay.
You're welcome. And thank you. So did we have someone else who wanted to share their vision or their
Let's see, as long as it aligns with what you have planned, I don't want to take away from your structure for the day. This is so powerful. I had no idea that Veronica was connected to you. And I love how your energy has been affirmed. Nancy Niamo. What did you tell us earlier about your name, Niamo?
I don't like people calling me saying sir. It's like I'm a woman, and I don't want them to get mixed up. And plus, my father and mother named me that. It means grace of God. How could I deny it?
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So,
And then you talked about something about clear.
oh, yeah, yeah. Claire is the maiden name, Clare. So I
Yeah.
have to declare myself. I have to be clear about who I am.
Ashe, thank you. So, anyone else desirous of sharing how the vision for your life is manifested? And what's the statement again, Diamo? Because I want to make sure we land it. You gave us a statement from 2006's theme.
Well, 2006 was I am my vision fulfilled, but overarching purpose of the International Black Summit is to provide participants an opportunity to bring into being their vision for the Black community and the world.
All right, beautiful. So, anybody else want to declare and share how your vision for the world as a person of color, as a Black person, is being manifested and you're living that full out and on purpose? Anyone else?
I
Well,
saw my raise a hand.
yeah, I
Amal.
did. I did. And then I put it down. Then, okay, so as far as my vision for my life, it is fulfilled. I traveled everywhere, and that's what was always burning in my heart. But as an elder now, my vision now is to support, to walk into a room and just be the light to people, for people to know that when I look at them, or if they know anything about me, that they are loved unconditionally. And that is where I'm standing now. Just being love and light. Just being love and light without even saying a word. Just being love and light. Just emanating that. And that's my purpose at the last quarter of my life.
Love it. Just give me my vision. Thanks so much, Amal. Thank you so very much. Mhm.
All right, so you can press forward. More juice. What you got?
I'm checking. It's like, I shared about my grandson. I wanted to share about my dollar store. I want to share how this conversation gave me access to doing something that I just can't imagine I would have done without it. And that is having a store. Okay. It was just amazing. It was just amazing that I found some space in my being that for me was honoring my ancestors. That's really what it was about. Because these two Black men, these were my grandfathers. They, you could say, integrated Harlem and Brooklyn, areas where they lived, back in the 20s and around that period. And they had businesses, and they had homes and rooming houses. And uh, they were very, very, what's the word? Full of their own power. They were very confident Black men. And uh, somehow, when Obama got in office, there was a stimulus package that was being shared. And it was really, it wasn't what it seemed. And it seemed too good to be true, but I wanted to participate. And so, Stacy, did you want to share your vision now? Because I see she has her hand raised. And maybe
I
she has,
I
maybe,
did. I
okay.
did. If you're still talking, that's
Yes, yes. I can go ahead with that in a moment. Go ahead. Share.
okay. So my vision fulfilled. I'm so blessed. I thank God that being a woman of colors, because I just believe I'm just so colorful. I don't own just one color. Being a woman of colors in this universe, for me to be able to teach yoga and be a pranic healer. I'm a pranic healer. So doing that energy work and being the yoga instructor and a lifestyle coach. I'm also an advocate for autism. My son's on the spectrum of autism. Being all of these things in this pandemic, especially, that I'm sustained is mind-blowing. And I know that it's only God. I know where it comes from. If you look at paperwork, you would never believe it's like how. So I'm always just really humbled and so blessed that I get to do this work. And that just, if anything, reaffirms that this is what God has me to do, that there's no way that it can't happen. And I declare everything. Everyone calls me like the declaring queen because I declare anything. I declare parking for the year. I declare and it just shows up. And I'm saying, tell people, listen, just declare it, declare it, declare it, declare it. So I'm just so moved and just excited about who I get to be and get to show up as that. Because every day I have to stop and be give gratitude and thank God. Like, you actually keep me while I do your work. Like, so whatever your vision is, I always tell people, whatever your vision, God will give you the provisions. So as long as you just keep speaking life, and all of that will be brought to fruition, like without a worry. And I don't have a worry about it. Cause like I come from, Christian background, and it's like, worry and faith can't live in the same space. And I really and truly believe that. So sometimes it's really just like, no, I already said it, it's already done. And actually believing that it just manifests that way. So I'm excited to be doing that. And along with my beautiful sisters here, and Johnny has always been like someone that's really powerful. I've known her for years, and she's been my activator. I used to always call her my activator. Like, I'll just talk to her and I'll just do whatever. I'm like, oh, I have to speak to my activator, like Jerry curl activator. You like spray it on. It's like, oh, my curls are juicy now. It's like, oh, let me get a spray of Shawnee. And I'm like, up, it's done. Like, I'm out here. I'm doing this.
Stacey,
So
question.
yes.
What is your vision in a statement? You're living it. I want to hear what it is.
Okay. My vision is that parents of children of color and everyone, okay, my vision is that everyone can be healed and transform their lives. That probably sounds too dry. Okay. No. Okay.
That's it. Everyone is healed and their lives are transformed.
Yes.
One of the things I notice about people with vision, even if they're living it, is that they project it outward to the future or some other time, or it could be, or I see this will happen. It has to be a picture of what it is right now. So it's active verbs. So everyone is healed and living transformed lives.
Yes.
And that's what you're carrying, and that's what you describe, and that's what you're lit up about. And I love that. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. God bless you, sister. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So I was in this story about this dollar store, and I got this dollar store based on the stimulus package from Obama, but I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know what I was getting into and what it would take. And I had worked in retail before. I had worked as a children's warehouse manager, third key manager. I'd open the store, close the store, type of thing. So I had done that kind of retail work before, and so in my mind, it was in the back of my mind that I was like striving to do what my grandparents would have me do, have my own business, like a store, a retail operation that gave basic needs to the community. And so, or allowed people in the community to have access to basic needs that might be available at a dollar store. And so I attempted to do that, and I did it for 2 years. But 2 months after I started in 2011, I think it was, and this was right after I retired. So I said, "Oh, good, this is something to do, and I'll just sit back and have the thing running on its own." So, well, Hurricane Sandy happened 2 months after, and a supermarket opened across the street that undercut me. I didn't really listen to the local economic development person who did say that there was a supermarket opening, because hey, I've seen supermarkets and dollar stores and all kinds of things operate together. You know, I knew enough about that, having a master's in planning, urban planning, economic development, etc., that kind of thing. I knew enough about there being like a Madison Avenue effect where everybody of similar kinds of stores would group together, and that would lift everybody's boat. So that didn't kind of scare me. Anyway, 2 years on, I was in the community. I got support from the community, but I realized I couldn't sustain it, right? It dawned on me that I could not sustain it. And I realized I just had to shut it down. Okay, I even had a woman who had owned $8 stores come in as a partner near the end. And so I kind of pulled back because I was also taking care of my mother. That's the main part I forgot to tell you. I was taking care of my mother, and I was supposed to be doing that, but I created something else to do instead of take care of my mother. And I got my eyes opened along the way that it was important to maintain my closest relationships, much more important than striving to live my grandfather's dream that they were leaving something for their grandchildren, even though the stimulus package was a joke, because all they did was use up my credit cards. My credit was better before I started the process. And they called themselves helping me improve my credit. But they started the process without me even having the store. All of a sudden, I'm getting letters from Amex. I'm like, what? Somebody was taking money before it even started. Oh boy, did I get signs along the way. I wrote about this in my book, 9 Principles for Loving Living. That's an ebook that is available on Amazon, 9 Principles for Loving Living, and how I call it my fantastic failure because I learned so much about myself. But it is the summit, the International Black Summit, that helped me even have the temerity to step into the space of business ownership. That kind of business ownership. Let me be specific about that. And I even had my HealMobile station inside of it. And I helped some people with oil. They come in, their knees would be messed up, and I would help them. Oh, it feels much better. Very different kind of a dollar store, 2,000 square feet almost, a large store. But it wasn't something where I could sit back because of the dynamics and the economies of scale. I had to actually be in the store all the time. See how much I didn't see? When I began to notice what was required, and look at the fact that I just kind of flew in on a business plan that was like not grounded in, not, you know, the fundamentals of the business plan weren't quite what they should have been. It opened up how it was, how my spirit just wanted to do something to please my family. And it really wasn't me, but it was me, because that's how I roll. I jump in stuff, right? I was going to come out feet first, and the people push me back. The doctor pushed me back so I can come out head first. So it's a meme in my life that I do jump into stuff, and then I realize, what am I doing here? And as I said, as a writer, I begin with the end. Usually, what I write, I realize, oh, that's the conclusion. Let me lead up to that point. Okay, we have to understand ourselves. And I'm growing. I'm still understanding myself. As you said, Amal, in my last quarter, I hope it's my last, I don't know what it is, last something. But whatever it is I hope it lasts when I contribute in terms of the transformation to the universe. I hope that is the last. I hope that is what lasts about Niamo Nancy. Niamo Nafi Abdul Rahim Mu'eed for the Islamic side. And Niamo came to me in a dream. You know, I woke up saying, oh, John Coltrane's record was Niamo. No, it wasn't. It was Naima. So people who know me from way back, Naima is what they call me. But it's okay. There's no right way to be, I mentioned. I'm owning who I am with my errors. I'm giving you now a list of distinctions of the International Black Summit. They're not on a piece of paper. You have to be in the room. And as you're speaking your life, what will emerge, very possibly, is what distinction of the International Black Summit is present in the room, in the space. And we do that once we have everyone clearing themselves and allowing life to speak through them for everyone's benefit. So that is the message of the day. And I am complete. And I thank you for being here and sharing with me.
Thank you so much, beloved. So beautiful, so powerful, so aligned with where we are right now, in the wake of everything that's going on politically and, the civil unrest and, just everything. We need a powerful message of hope and a reminder, once again, of who we are and what we've given our word to do and be. So I'm going to ask that John put up the closing slide so that we can go deeper into who you are outside of this wake up space and how we can get to be with you and connect with you and what you've offered up about the summit. And then also how we can love on you in a few different ways. So John, we ready? All righty. So here we are with the special offer. So Niamo, can you break this down for the community so they understand what they have the opportunity to partake in?
Yes, I'm writing a text to Louise Galloway, and so completed that now. So I will be teaching Reiki and energy healing uh, beginning November 11th, and there'll be evening classes, right? Thursday evenings. And what we're going to do is explore the traditional Japanese uh, Reiki. Reiki means spiritual or universal healing energy or life force energy. And what we'll do is explore how it came to the United States, how it can help people heal themselves or have a sense of the healing of themselves, how it depends on a person being attuned to the lineage of healing energy, and how we'll begin to situate ourselves in a space that is instinctual and natural to us, but has been taken away. And what Reiki does is help us come back to that. It's a wonderful shorthand Japanese term that did come through the Japanese energy. However, it is something that appears all around the world and with our families. When we hug our families, our children, and our mates, this is the Reiki energy we're giving, and people are so loved. And we know that children that are not hugged or touched wither and pass away. And so that's Reiki and Energy Healing 101 that I'll be doing starting November 11th. And then for people who have to be on weekends, we'll do it December 12th on Saturday at 10 a.m. We'll do that. We'll do a start date then. And so they'll run concurrently for a minute. And so I normally charge $400 in person to do Reiki 1 and 2. You get a certificate, you learn how to heal others. And when I say heal others, I really do mean, because that's language that I don't want you to take incorrectly. Your healing energy, your own healing energy, and being that space that the sister talked about when you walk into the room, you emanate the light that does heal people. So what you're getting from me in these courses, in this course, these 2 classes, are techniques for raising that, your ability to emanate that. Okay. And so that's what's up there. Please do send me a message if you are going to prepay and register. That would be wonderful. Okay. And I think my email information is coming. I just want to make sure that we have it in more than one place. Who is registering and for which classes? Okay.
So just for clarification, and if you just said it, I might have missed it because I'm multitasking here. If you start on November 11th, it's consecutive Thursdays after that. And if you start on December 12th, it's consecutive Saturdays after that, just to be clear.
That's right.
Okay, wonderful. Because sometimes, there's breaks in between. So yours is
We may have breaks. That's why I don't want to, it gets into the holiday period. That's why
Okay.
I don't want to spell that out. We're going to self-generate. It's not
Okay.
it's not
Okay.
going to be imposed. We're going to work this thing out.
That, I mean, it's important to know because folks,
Yes.
we are so attached, myself included, to these calendars,
Yes.
and I know if they sign up, they want to be able to fully participate in the
Yes.
process. So it's good that you're co-creating that and generating it with the community who signs up. Excellent. So we can move to the next slide. Are we good?
Yep.
Okay. All righty. So contact information. You want to say anything about this, Niamo?
No, it's text is really, really great. Facebook, I don't do a lot on, but I come like twice a week or so. And same with IG. Um, the best way is really by text, and then we can go to any of these. I love LinkedIn. I like Twitter. I get my news from Twitter, and I like IG, seeing what people do. Do reach out to me. Do reach out to me, and I'd love engaging with you. I invite you to share your energy stories. I invite you to share your light, and I appreciate where everyone is coming from, because we do all need to be awakened and reminded. We want to be reminded, because anything that we put out into the space, as we observe God in action, as we observe we are in God's eyes. That's what we were reading last night in Quran studies. We're in God's eyes. And so everything that we're doing that's conscious and aware of what it is we've been put on earth for, is a testimony to it. So let's share that. Let's share and enjoy our joy and celebration about that.
Right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, love offerings. Here we are in the presence of greatness. Here we are in the presence of healing energy. I love that you said that, because I say that too. I don't heal anyone. I'm the conduit by which people discover their capacity to heal. So, thank you for fortifying that for myself and for the community. So, as healing essence, as healing energy, as teacher, as minister and administer, we invite you. We invite ourselves to acknowledge that and to affirm it in the form of money. Money as my own natural energy yield shared with another. In this case, it's not an institution or an entity that doesn't know you but will take from you. In this instance, it's a living being that you have connected with, that you get to pour into so that she can forward the vision and purpose on the planet. And she told you what that is, so there's no mystery. So we ask that you do that now and engage in the vibration and the energy of giving as a form of love. So share your love offering, share your donations, be the conduit for that activation and expansion. And you can do that from Zelle or QuickPay at soulleadership@gmail.com, or you can use Cash App $Spirit of a Woman and her code. Our beloved Reverend Niamo Nancy. Your last name is, what's your last name? Muid. I thought so. Yeah. Muid is hashtag 190 NN. I love the way this looks. Hashtag 190 NN. I would say not now, but right now. Not now, but right now. All right. So we can do that. Take the moment to do it now. So that you don't forget. I know our intentions are good, but I can be like, oh, I'm going to do this in 10 minutes. And then before 10 minutes will come in, like, what was I thinking? What did I say I was going to do? So take that on so that you can share love with her as intended. So we can move on to the next slide. So Sunday, because we are off on Fridays and Saturdays, but never really off, just an opportunity to activate what we have been taught. So you can use tomorrow and Saturday to think about the International Black Summit and its juiciness. You can start planning on being on the Sunday call so that you can be in that conversation and inquiry. Use these next 2 days to activate what you have learned all this week, because we got a lot of juice this week from Sahu Speed and Chantel. Like, it was a really phenomenal activating experience this week. So what we can do is set our clocks and calendars so that we can be present on Sunday, November 8th, for a conversation with Sis Star Candace Harper. The theme of that conversation is the work, breaking free of your romantic baggage. Come on now, the work. And it is work, breaking free of your romantic baggage. All right. And then Monday, we have one of our sisters in love, Cashel Campbell, coming back into the space. She will be talking about love and lust, and it'll be a 30-minute session. What has 2020 taught me about my worth? And with her, me means you, because we are each other's reflection. All right, so let's make sure that we connect and unpack and explore and grow and transform. So let's move forward. So the schedule, we have Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, which is a 90-minute session. Thursday is today, so we had a 90-minute exploration and dance with Sister Niamo. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, we have a 30-minute extravaganza. And I say extravaganza because no matter what the timeline is, we still get to grow and transform. One is an appetizer, lights you up, get you ready to eat for the full entree. So let's make sure that we schedule that. And I say this every time I'm in this space sharing this. Please invite others into the space. I love when folks are coming for the first time. So if you're a first timer this morning, please put in the chat that you have engaged in day one, because we anticipate that you'll come back for more. Day one of the Wake Up Everybody experience for yourself. So if you just first timer, thank you, Lois Riddle. All right, welcome, welcome, and thank you. Please return, so we can move forward. Thank you. Let's stay in touch. Lois, how you stay in touch is you register for the upcoming week. If you formally registered, then we have your email address. If not, drop it in the chat and we will definitely send you the information, the e-blast to tell you what the work is ahead for the next week. And you can register and let us know what you're interested in participating with, and we will make sure that we remind you and call you into the space. Let's see what else. Our Wake Up Everybody virtual community. So Lois, if you're on Facebook, go to Wake Up Everybody virtual community and ask to join, and we will bring you on in with love and admiration. Instagram at Wake Up Series. So if you have a page, join us there. YouTube, we're on there as well. So look for us. And then our email is info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. If you want to share a testimonial, if you want to give feedback, if you want to suggest a facilitator, if you want to facilitate, reach out to us so that we can get that information and be in communication with you. We can move forward. All right, now we get an opportunity as a community to pour love. So Lois, watch this. We get an opportunity to unmute and pour love into the facilitator. We can applaud, and that's cool. That's cool. Make a resounding noise of appreciation, but we can also affirm, which Niamo talked about today, words of affirmation and declaration and themes that we speak up and out of so that Black Summit can live through us. All right, it's not just a one-time thing, it's forever. So give us some love, unmute yourself, please.
We love you. Thank you so much, Sister
Oh,
Niamo.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Niamo.
Yes,
You're
indeed.
so happy. Thank you, Queen. God bless you. God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
Wonderful
Love,
day, everyone.
love
Thank
you.
you.
Feel all the love showers.
That was
Thank
awesome.
you,
Thank you so
Niamo.
much.
Thank you,
Thank
Niamo.
you.
God
Very
bless
Thank you.
you.
informative, very
Thank you for
enlightening.
Yes.
the empowerment. Thank you.
Magnificent. Thank you so much.
I
And
so
you
appreciate
continue
it.
to show up like that.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Love you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Connie. And everyone who has touched
Information.
your everyone. Thank you, Jermaine. Jermaine, all the happy birthday. I will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madasi,
Thank you.
Madasi.
Thank you.
Looking forward to talking to you.
Blessings.
Yes.
Bless you. God bless
Blessings.
everyone.
I am
You.
Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so
my
much.
vision fulfilled.
Yes.
Love this
Yes, thank
community. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am my vision fulfilled. Love y'all. Have a great day.